Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to talk about my most embarrassing school moments of my life. These range from like elementary school, middle school, high school. Class of 2020, I graduated already. I was just thinking about all the stuff that I've accomplished and all the stuff that I didn't accomplish. And all my embarrassing stuff that I've done and all that. And I was thinking about like what was like the worst, most embarrassing things that I've done. I just wanted to talk about that with you guys. They get pretty intense, like no cap, they're pretty embarrassing. So let's dive in. Oh my, okay. I was hoping this was gonna be like really like cool. Let's start off with elementary school. This was like all in San Bernardino, by the way. I went to wavywoah Elementary School. When I was in elementary school, I took the bus to school. I would wake up at like 6:30 and then get ready and all that. And then at 7:10, the bus would come in front of my house basically. So like every morning I'd have to go to the bus. If I made that bus on time, it would take me to like a transit of different buses. All different school buses, right? 10 different buses in a circle. And you would get off one bus and then you go to the other bus that takes you to your school. Each bus had a certain school they would go to. I think it was like the beginning of my first grade year. I got a new bus driver and all that, so I took the bus, and you know, it was like the first couple weeks of school. My bus driver, I guess he was sick, right? You know, there was like a bus driver substitute. You know, those things would happen. Like if the bus driver like called off, he would have like a separate backup bus driver. And then he was like, oh, you know, Mario took the day off or something like that. That was my bus driver, Mario. And he was like, there was a switch up in plans and you're gonna have to, since I'm here, you're gonna have to take a different bus. So I was like, okay, whatever. We go, right? And as we're leaving, he's telling us like, okay, so if you go to this school, you take this bus. If you go to this school, you take this bus. And he kind of looked newer on the job. So then he told me like, okay, like so if you're going to wavywoah, you take this bus, right? And I'm like, okay, but I usually take like the number 5 bus. And he was like, no, number 7. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It was a totally different bus driver. And the funny thing was, I didn't even think about like, I'm like, this guy like looked like, he doesn't look familiar. But anyway, I'm like, okay, well, the other bus driver said, I have to take this bus. So I took it. It was weird because like, I didn't recognize none of the kids. And I was like, okay, this is weird. He takes you to the school, right? And I'm like, in my head, like freaking out because I'm like, I have no idea, like, this is not my school. And he's like, everyone get out, get out. Not everyone left the bus because I guess he had another school to drop us off at. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's switching up routes. So maybe he's gonna drop me off at my school. So that's what I was thinking. So he drops everyone off, right? And then I end up going to a different school. And like the last wave of kids go. Right, they're all going in that school. He was like, "Are you gonna get off? Because this is the last school I'm going to." And I'm like, the other bus driver told me to take this bus and that you were gonna take me to my school. And he was like, "What school are you going to?" And I said, "Bonnie, oh, I took the wrong bus. I took the wrong bus and I was taken to the wrong school. I don't even know what school it was. It was some like other elementary school, and it was so, dude. As a first grader who didn't have a phone." Who didn't have like, I didn't even know my street address, but the only thing I knew were my parents' name and the school I went to. We sorted things out. I ended up going back to my school. I pulled up school late. And so since it was elementary school, doors were all locked and like you had to go to the front office. I go to the front office and then like there was like these like the schooling staff. They were like, what are you like, hell, you're super late. And I was like, I took the wrong bus. And then they were like, you're supposed to be on your bus already. It's been like 2 weeks. It was a funny story, but honestly the scariest moment of my life. Like genuinely scary. Story number 2, picture this, the middle school, 7th grade, near November. It's weird because usually Novembers I get sick and I started getting sick. My stomach was aching. Either 1, I didn't go to school, or 2, or go to school. I didn't like missing school days. It was complicated because if you skip a day of school, you have to get all your work and you turn the next day and that night you double the homework, and it sucked. My stomach was aching. I was just like constantly like sweating and like just like gross and yucky and just like, ugh. It was like the lowest moment of like middle school year. My parents were like, call us if you want to come home. And I was like, okay, I'll let you know. So first period, easy period. You know, it was English, got it over with. Second period, got it over with. Third period, it's PE for me. It was very hard for me. I think we were playing like basketball or whatever. After third period, I went to lunch. And I was at lunch with my friends and I'm just like feeling like complete crap. I had a salad with chicken nuggets. That day, it was just like not good. And like the chicken was all cold and all that. And like, it was like cold and semi-warm. It was really weird. After lunch, fourth period, that's where she got intense. So we go to fourth period, math, 7th grade, 4th period, in Miss Chambers' class. We were taking notes. I felt disgusting. My stomach was like bubbling, like boom, boom, boom. Okay, that alone is embarrassing in itself. Like if we're taking notes, everyone's quiet, and you can hear like my stomach like, blah, 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 going through some like World War II wars. Like there was like a war in my stomach, and then like I'm just like sweating profusely, like just non-stop sweating in class. And then like I'm just like all hot, but like even though I'm sweating, like I'm like cold for some reason, and I just felt I was like this yucky feeling. Like it was just like the most disgusting feeling I've ever felt in my life. My friend, he knew I was sick. He's like, dude, like go home, like dog, like you look like so pale. And I'm like, dude, I'm fine. I remember there was like this girl right next to me, and I remember her face, like she like looked at me, like turned and looked at me. And like she gave like the up and down, and she was like disgusted. Oh my god. I raised my hand and I'm like, Miss Chambers, I don't feel too good. And she's like, go to the nurse's office. As I'm getting up, everyone's staring at me since I raise my hand to go. And as I get up, my stomach does like the loudest like blah, 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 blah. It was like the loudest stomach growl and cramp. So like as like it made that noise, like I gotta like grab my stomach because like it was like I was in pain. And oh my god, everyone was staring. And I remember like I heard like someone in the back go like, ew. And I was like, holy shit, like I gotta get out of here. So I grabbed all my stuff, like I grabbed like all like the notes I was taking, shove it in my backpack, I closed, and I like speed the walk out of the class. As soon as I got home, threw up all over the bathroom, disgusting. I'm so glad that I was able to get picked up so fast. I want you to picture this in your mind. Where we bought a big box of jalapeno chips, and they were my favorite chips of all time. It was like Lay's jalapeno. It was the baked version, so they had that extra crunch. I come home from school, right? Sophomore year. I'm hungrier than usual, so I eat a bag of jalapeno chips. I eat it. I'm like, damn, that's good. I make a sandwich, turkey sandwich. I'm like, damn, like that's good. But I'm like, I'm craving more of those like jalapeno chips. I ate 2 more bags, and I keep on eating jalapeno chips like nonstop. Like the crunch of the chips were just so satisfying. Like I wasn't even hungry. I was overeating just because I wanted the flavor and that loud crunch in my mouth. In total, I had like 7 bags, right? Like dead ass 7 bags of like chips. And then on top of that dinner, I had spaghetti. I remember specifically, I ate spaghetti that dinner. The whole time I was like overeating. I go to the school the next day. I wake up with a stomach cramp. I was having like flashbacks in like 7th grade, like that last story. I didn't like missing school at all. Like missing school was like the worst. I said, screw it, I'm going to school. As I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, I like legit vomit. I throw up. It was a little bit. And it was a jalapeno chips that I threw up. And I'm like, holy crap. I know where this is gonna go. That moment, I knew I should have stayed home, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to miss school. I have a Spanish quiz. It was a Spanish quiz. So I'm like, okay, I'll do the Spanish quiz and I'll dip. I had to go to 0 period, and it was 0 period of chemistry. So I went to 0 period of chemistry like at 6:45 in the morning, and I was telling my homie when we were doing a lab. I remember specifically, we were doing like a chem lab. We're all doing work, right? And they were like, dude, are you okay? Like again, sweaty and pale. And I was like, yeah, like I feel like throwing up. Like I dead ass feel like I'm throwing up. Go to first period, which was engineering. I'm in the back of the class, so like the whole time I'm just like kind of like throbbing back and forth. I'm like, okay, first period done. Second period, let's go to second period. And second period was Spanish 2, and I just feel disgusting. And right before I go to second period, I go to the bathroom first. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm like kind of like, okay, like calm down. Like if I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna throw up now. I'm like, oh shoot, I can't throw up. And the bell rings, and I was like kind of already late to second period. And let me tell you, I went to class, I'm doing my Spanish quiz, and I finish, and I have to get up and I walk in front of the class, I put it down, and then I'm like, okay, like, can I, and I raise my hand, I'm like, ¿Puedo ir al baño? And I ask her, can I use the bathroom? She's like, okay, sí. She kind of gave me an attitude because the thing was 15 minutes into the like Spanish, and I was already asking to go to the bathroom, so she was kind of pissed at that. She said like, you just came back, you should have went to the bathroom beforehand, but I'm gonna let you go. As soon as I leave Spanish, I run to the bathroom. I straight up dip. And so I go to the bathroom and I open up the stall. I didn't even make it to the toilet. I threw up all over the floor. And I was that kid. That one time I was that kid that actually like threw up on the floor. I threw up on the floor and like on the toilet rim, and it was a lot of throw up. It was all the chips of jalapeno chips I ate. It was just, and it was like imagine chunky chips in your mouth, spicy chunky chips that you threw up, and you having I had my retainer on, so I had like chunks of the chips in my mouth, and I had the jalapeno flavor in my mouth, and it was disgusting, and there was throw up all over the floor. It was like the lowest moment of my life. I go to the sink, I rinse my mouth, get all the chunks out. I see someone coming, so I like as soon as they came in, like as soon as some like a kid came in, I like walked out. And I go to class like smelling my breath, and it smelled like complete garbage. I had gum in my backpack, and I shoved like 3 sticks of gum in my mouth, and I'm chewing it, and it was the most disgusting flavor because I have jalapeno flavor in my mouth. I still have the throw up chunks in my mouth, like the chips. Since I was chewing gum, it was getting stuck to my retainer. And we finished up with class. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom again. I go to the bathroom again, and I'm feeling better. I was like, you know what? Let's go to 4th period. It's a math class, simple class. It was just notes, taking notes. I'm taking notes. I ask again, like halfway through the class. I'm like, can I go to the bathroom? I go to the bathroom. I throw up again. I threw up 2 times in one day. As soon as I threw up the 2nd time, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. Right after math, I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I call my mom, like, yo, pick me up. I threw up twice at school. I get picked up, I leave. To this day, I feel bad for whoever had to tell the janitor there's throw up in the bathroom. And I threw up in 2 different high school I threw up in 2 different bathrooms. And oh my God, it was so embarrassing. Those were my 3 most embarrassing moments in school of all time. Let me know if that's like pretty bad, because I know to some people that's like, oh, like not a big deal, but to me to me at that time those were big deals. Let me know what your embarrassing moment was at school, because you can't top me throwing up twice at school. If you can, comment down below, let me know, and make me feel, you know, a little better about myself and not feel so guilty about throwing up in those bathrooms. And thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day. Be safe.